we are left with extra bread on hand and we don't want that bread to go to waste. Here are my top 10 favorite hacks to use up that bread. These are easy, delicious hacks. We're starting today off with these apple hand pies. This one is a favorite for sure. I have some white bread right here. I'm just flattening it out. This is just white bread that I needed to use up. I'm just flattening it out with a rolling pin as well. And then I have apple pie filling. Add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of that apple pie filling to the middle. Then you're going to brush both sides of the bread with a little bit of melted butter and then roll it up. There you go. This is so easy to throw together. You just really do want to make sure you flatten out the bread. That way it's a little bit thinner and easier to roll. Also, the bread doesn't break as easily when you do roll it out like that. And then the butter is also necessary. That way it will kind of hold the bread together, kind of hold the seams together so it doesn't fall apart in the oven. But after you're through adding all of your apple pie filling or really any pie filling to your bread and you place them on your sheet pan, you're going to grab about 3 tablespoons, about 3 to 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon to that bowl, and then just give it a good mix. You're going to brush this over the top of the bread. This is going to help the top of the bread get like super crispy, and it's going to add so much flavor. You can't even tell that this is bread. This literally tastes like actual apple pies. Bake this in a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes. You just want that bread to be crispy, and let me tell you, this is absolutely delicious. When I tell you you need to try something out, you absolutely need to try this out. It is affordable, such an easy, delicious, cheap dessert idea. This is a favorite. Now we're starting on this French toast casserole. This one's perfect for like holiday mornings or really anytime you want a delicious breakfast. So I use about 8 ounces of bread. You want to use any type of bread basically. I tend to like white bread. You could use any type of white or French bread. Just slice the bread into cubes. I like to cut the bread into kind of like bite-sized cubes. That way when you're eating your French toast casserole, you get a nice bite. Anyway, grab a 9x13 baking dish and then add a half a cup of melted butter to the bottom. Add 1 cup of brown sugar and give this a whisk. You want the butter and brown sugar to kind of get mixed together super well. Next, you're going to add the slices of bread over the top. I'll set this to the side. Now we're getting started on the mixture that helps bind the French toast casserole together. It's 6 eggs, 2 cups of milk, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, about 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and give this a good whisk. You want to break those yolks and you want everything to get mixed together super duper well. After you're through mixing this together, just pull out your 9x13 baking dish with the bread in it, and then you are going to pour this over the top and try not to spill like I did. Anyway, give this a good mix. I like to mix it with tongs, that way it helps so nothing gets like too mushy. Anyway, I just like using tongs. Over the top, I sprinkled about 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and a tablespoon of brown sugar. This baked covered it with foil on 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, then uncovered for an additional 15 minutes. If you're looking for a French toast casserole or an easy, affordable breakfast, this is it. Next hack for today is homemade breadcrumbs. Homemade breadcrumbs are great because they're affordable and so easy to make. You could make them with a little bit of bread like I am doing today. I'm not using a whole ton of bread. I'm just using like a half of a bag, basically what I have left. Just break up the bread and add the bread into a food processor. And then you're going to want to process the bread until they basically turn into breadcrumbs. You can make like herb style breadcrumbs. You can make like garlic breadcrumbs. Really do whatever you'd like. Today I am making just traditional plain homemade breadcrumbs. Now that they look like this, grab a sheet pan, line it with parchment paper, add your breadcrumbs to your sheet pan. You want to make sure the breadcrumbs aren't overlapping too much. You basically want them in a single layer just so they bake best. Bake this in a preheated oven to 300 degrees for 5 minutes. Bake it after you stir it for an additional 5 minutes and then bake it again for 5 more minutes. You want those breadcrumbs to really dry out in the oven but not get burnt. I'm using a glass jar. Just put them in your jar. I also love to keep them in my freezer. I just store them in my freezer and they'll last up to 6 months. This is a great way to use up your breadcrumbs, and I definitely recommend keeping them in your freezer just because they'll only last out for about a week or so. Now we're making homemade croutons. I love making homemade croutons. I had this bread just sitting around that I really needed to use up. I didn't know what to do with it, so I thought to myself, I want to make croutons. It's just like an herb bread, so it has seasoning over the top. You do want to make sure you use like a sturdy bread, like French bread, like this. It just works best for croutons. Just cut your bread into smaller pieces. Place your bread on a sheet pan lined with parchment paper, and now I'm going to drizzle on about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You want the croutons to get coated in the oil. Right now, if you want to add more seasoning like Italian seasoning or other herbs to your croutons, you certainly can. Since my bread is like herb bread, I just didn't since it already has flavor. But this will bake in a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 10 minutes or until your bread is dried out and golden brown. I like to keep my croutons just sitting out for about a week, and if I don't use them all in a week on salads or in soups, I like to keep them in airtight container in my freezer for up to 6 months. They are so good frozen, even on salads. I really recommend doing your croutons like this and keeping them in your freezer just so they last the longest. Now we're making these personal pizzas. Personal pizzas are great if you just want to make them for an easy snack, lunch, or dinner. I love these and they have so much flavor. They're not boring at all. Pizza sauce tends to be pretty expensive, so I do like to just use tomato sauce. This is an 8-ounce can. I added a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and pepper to that, and there you go. You have homemade pizza sauce in the matter of seconds, and you don't have to pay the price at the store for pizza sauce. Pizza sauce just tends to be so pricey nowadays. Now I'm making my garlic butter mixture. It's 3 tablespoons of melted butter, a tablespoon of minced garlic, and Italian seasoning. Give it a mix. Now you're going to pull out your bread. Just place it on a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Then you're going to brush that garlic butter mixture over the top. This is what sends these personal pizzas out of this world. It really makes them taste like fancy. They're just so much better. Now bake this in a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 3 minutes or until they're golden brown. This will help so the bread doesn't get soggy. It will stay crispy like you want your pizza to be. Now brush your pizza sauce all over the top and then add your toppings. I do have a variation of this recipe in my first cookbook. It is on page 196. I have 8 sections in this cookbook. There's over 100 recipes. Both of my cookbooks have a colored photo for every single recipe. But now just add on your cheese and pepperoni, or really any toppings you'd like. Bake this for about 3 more minutes or until the cheese is melty. I have done like personal pizzas like this so many times in the past, and I found making that garlic butter mixture sends these pizzas out of this world. It really is the secret sauce to making like really good homemade personal pizzas. After this is out of the oven, they're just so cheesy and delicious. We love making personal pizzas like this in my home, not to mention these are like extremely affordable. Also, here's a little secret I've been dying to tell you. Last week, I traveled to a different state to start a brand new video series where I will be going to subscribers' homes. I will tell you more about it when the video comes out, but the video is coming out super soon and I honestly am like over the moon excited for you to see it. So make sure you're subscribed with the notifications on so you don't miss it. And also, I met one of my favorite YouTubers ever last week. My next hack for you is turning regular sliced bread into garlic cheesy bread. So grab a sheet pan, line it with parchment paper, then add your slices of bread right onto the pan. Next, I'm going to drizzle on a little bit of olive oil and we will sprinkle on some Italian seasoning. This is great if you're making like spaghetti, any Italian dish, or you want to serve some soup alongside of bread. This is just a great option. Now we're adding on a little bit of mozzarella cheese, or you could use any cheese. I've just found that I like to use mozzarella. This will bake on 400 degrees for about 6 minutes or until it's golden brown and cheesy. There you go. This is the perfect side dish to any Italian dish or soup. Speaking of soup, if you're making soup and you want your soup to be a little bit thicker without using dairy, you could add sliced bread in. Just break your bread into super small pieces. This acts as a natural rustic thickener that creates a creamy velvety texture without dairy. So this is a great way to thicken up soups, and just let it simmer for a few minutes and then it will naturally thicken, and then the bread will kind of just turn into the thickener. This is great if you don't have dairy on hand or you don't want to use dairy. You could also use crushed up breadcrumbs for this, like the homemade breadcrumbs that we used a little bit earlier. Either way will work just fine. So you could use like fresh sliced bread, any sliced bread, frozen sliced bread, or breadcrumbs. This is just a great thickener hack. Have you ever made a grilled cheese sandwich but without the cheese and make it dessert style? Well, that is what we are making now. Grab 2 slices of bread, add your Nutella to both sides of the bread, then add your diced up strawberries to the bread. Put the 2 bread slices together, and then you are going to grab a pan, add a little bit of butter to the pan on the stove, and then you are going to add your sandwich down. You're going to cook this for about a minute or 2 on each side. You want that bread to get like super crispy. This is the most delicious snack or dessert. I love doing this when I have extra bread on hand and we don't feel like making regular traditional grilled cheese sandwiches. This one is a good one. Berry cobbler might be one of my favorite desserts ever. I love making it all year round, so now that's what we're making. Grab an 8x8 baking dish or just a smaller baking dish, add in your frozen berries, and then you're going to pull out a bowl. I have about 4 cups of cubed breadcrumbs. Just add them right into your bowl. You could use any type of bread. Then you're going to add in 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and a 1/2 cup of melted butter. You're also going to add in 1/3 cup of brown sugar. This is going to be the topping that goes over the berries, and it is good. Give it a good stir, and then you're going to add it right over the top of those berries. Cover this tightly with foil, bake it in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Then you're going to uncover it and then bake it for an additional 25 minutes. Think again if you're thinking this might be strange with the bread. It is delicious. This is a great affordable hack to make a delicious berry cobbler. We topped ours with a little bit of Cool Whip. This one is a good one. I also like to freeze my bread. I like to keep it in a freezer bag, so I like to take it out of the bag that the bread comes in, just because those bags tend to be like super cheap and the bread tends to get super freezer burnt when I put it in those cheap bags. So I like to put it in a Ziploc bag, just a freezer one, and then it's great frozen up to 6 months. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video like this. Bye for now.